Hello everybody. I talked the other day about veteran suicide. 22 veterans a day are killing themselves because of a number of different reasons, but I wanted to talk about that because I am a veteran. It's something that means a lot to me, that I wish I could do more about, and I've tried in various ways. And I think I say it on every video, this is why I'm doing these videos, to reach out more and more, to do what I can to just help people. I've got Asperger's. It's on the autism spectrum, so everybody wants to raise awareness to that. I don't really kind of see myself doing that. I want to talk more about my life experiences, my struggles, the things that I've gone through, and the things, more importantly, the things that I have learned on how to cope, how to deal, how to get through life. And it doesn't just apply to Asperger's. It doesn't just apply to veterans. It applies to, I think, probably everybody. So, along with veterans, I think male suicide. Now, someone tell me. I think male suicide above the age of 45 is the highest killer of men, or something like that. I think I heard that. But mental illness among men is drastic too. And I think a lot about mental illness because I have Asperger's, because I've lived the life that I've lived. Throughout the struggles that I've faced, I have suffered, and I have cried bitter tears, pain, anguish, just the worst kind of bitterness. I've been around the block, as they say, and now I'm here, and just want to share those things with you. So, in my introduction video, I talked about balance. Balance is the most important thing. Without balance, you're kind of lost in life, and I equated it to a sailboat, which I always do when I talk to people. If you're sailing a boat, and granted, again, I don't sail. I wish I was out there on the water sailing, but if you're sailing a sailboat, the wind's going to blow you, the waves, the currents, everything affects you. And so, as we are in life, everything around us affects us, our environment, everything that makes us us, our families, the food we eat, the culture, our jobs, military service, if you're a woman, if you're having a baby, the relationships you're in, if you're cheating, if you're not cheating, if you're being cheated on, lots of different things affect us in very different ways, very painful ways, and it's a very human emotion to suffer and to feel pain and to get depressed and to wonder, why is this happening to me? God, in all of His infinite goodness and power and wisdom, why couldn't He stop this? Why couldn't He prevent this? Why couldn't He bless me just one time with winning the lottery? But finding balance has everything to do with those answers. The wind and the waves are going to beat all around us, but we have to know, one, where we're going, and we have to know how to steer our boat, and we have to have that balance, that ballast that holds the sailboat upright even when the winds are pushing it sideways. So how do you find that balance? How do you get it? And that's what I always want to talk about, because it's a big word, it's a big skill, it's a big conglomeration of a lot of different skills, all compiled into one to help each one of us in our own ways find balance that are going to help us to maintain our serenity, our sanity, our relationships around us, and to live the full and happy life that we all want to live. So one of the earliest things that I started doing was a morning meditation, and I still do it to this day. It's been over 2 decades now that I've been doing this. It's just a time of reflection, and I used to sit down and Om and all that stuff, and I don't know what any of that means, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I did it just to put my body, my physical body, in the mindset that, okay, now is the time for me to reflect on me, to put my life in order. And essentially I do it in the morning because the morning is a brand new day. Anything is possible, right? It's a blank canvas. You can paint the day however you want it. You know, people say they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Shame on you. You have the ability to adjust your behaviors, adjust your attitudes any way you want. And that is everything to do with you. It doesn't have to do with your partner, your relationships, the rain or the sunshine, or your car starting or not starting. These things affect us every day, but it's up to each one of us to mentally clear our minds and put ourselves in balance. These things are always going to attack us. Life is always going to happen around us, and we must answer several questions, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in the video, but several questions. Who are we? Where are we going? What do we want out of life? And that's what we need to be focused on. If we want to be miserable and downtrodden and upset and, oh, don't talk to me before my coffee and all that stuff, guess where your happiness, depression spectrum is going to be. You're probably not going to be satisfied with anything that you do in life. You're probably not going to be, you know, very happy. You're probably going to go home and watch Jeopardy, or, you know, my personal favorite is Big Bang Theory. Sheldon Cooper, I love you. But you've got to focus on that balance. So to do that, you've got to understand you can't dwell on the past. Now, I've got a shaky past. It's been ups and downs and confusing, to say the least. I've struggled with my Asperger's all my life and didn't know about it. And, you know, back then not a lot of people did, and it's, you know, gaining more momentum now. But through all the struggles that have defined who I am, they have shaped me, molded me. I used to dwell on the past a lot, and it ate me up for years and years and years. And now I can talk about it, and, you know, some things, you know, might get me a little teary-eyed, or some things might, you know, cause me a little more stress to talk about. But, you know, for the most part, been there, done that, I'm over it, and I've learned along the way, along this path of meditation, that, you know, you can't look at what's behind you. You can't walk upstairs looking over your shoulder. You have absolutely no control over it. None whatsoever. It's done and it's moved on. You need to move on too. So in the same breath, you can't worry about the future. The future is unwritten, untold. It's gonna happen. The life, the wind, the waves, it's all gonna, you know, beat your sailboat down. It's life. Welcome to it. So you can't fret about what might happen. One of my favorite books, Atlas Shrugged, from Ayn Rand, the pirate in there, Ragnar Danish Gold, I don't know how to say his name, he said, and it means the world to me to this day, he's not going to live his life by what could happen, by, you know, he might get arrested, he might get shot, he might this or that. He's going to live his life to the fullest, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You can't focus on the past. You can't focus on the future. You can't be so worried about life, the before and the after, that you sit in a recliner all day and never leave the house. You've got to live life. So you can't dwell on these things. You have to live for right now. Right now, this moment, this fleeting life that we have. From the moment we are born, we start to die. And death, for some of us, unfortunately, comes a whole lot sooner than a long, you know, 80 years, 100 years. You know, tragedy happens in life. So it becomes all that more important to realize who you are and what you want out of life. Do you want, you know, we all want, you know, that high-paying job, you know, but is that the focus of your existence? I have a good job, a job that unfortunately sometimes keeps me away from my family, and I hate that. But I've got a large family, I've told you that, and so sometimes I've got to take the job that's going to pay the bills. That happens for everybody, all of us. again, that's life. And so we've got to pick and choose and make decisions about what we're going to accept and what we're not going to accept in life. But our focus needs to be on what you really want, what makes you happy, what's going to ruin your day or make your day, what's going to ruin your life or make your life. And these moments are so fleeting from the beginning to the end that you can never get them back. Too many of us can remember a high school dance where we didn't go up and talk to the girl we wanted to talk to, or vice versa, and many situations and scenarios like that when we're kicking ourselves now for those moments when we should have jumped. But again, that's focusing on the past. What we have to realize is that moment is now. That moment is now to jump and take action in your lives. So, go away. People are knocking on my door. I'm in a hotel room. I don't know who's knocking on my door. So, you cannot progress living your life full of fear, full of anxiety, full of stress. It's just going to eat you up. It's going to beat you down. It's going to make you miserable. And it's going to make you a miserable person, and everybody around you is going to consider you a miserable person. You have to focus on the now and move forward. One thing that I learned in AA, saved my life, is to let go and let God. Now, I'm not going to talk about faith. I'm not going to talk about preaching, but I have thought about a lot of people don't know how to pray. And I have thought about, doing a prayer just so others can see how I do it. Not that I'm saying it's the right way, but, just so that others can see that you can talk to God and you can find your faith and you can find that direction and help and assistance in your life. So I learned that with Alcoholics Anonymous. Let go and let God. And now you've got to think about that phrase. Let go. What are you holding on to? What's got your attention? What are you attached to? Is it work? Is it a bad relationship? Is it the anxiety and stress of life? That's not sailing your sailboat. That's not navigating your sailboat in the direction you want to go. That's letting the wind and the waves steer your boat for you. You've got to find that balance. How do you put it into balance? You let God. And that's, for religion, for whatever you want to take it, however, whatever your faith is, let God is an action. It's an action, a process of faith, of relaxing, of believing that life will work out okay. It means you have to reach out, detach yourself from those things that hold you bound, that give you that anxiety and stress. Detach yourself from the past. Detach yourself from the stress of the future. Live in the now, and in the now it needs action. You have to reach out and go and get the things you want. In one way or another, you have to reach out. And that's what it means. So whatever your religion is, whatever your spirituality is, it's not necessarily letting God if you don't accept those terms, although I do. You have to reach out, you have to take action, and that's probably one of the most important things. God doesn't make you take action, so if you get caught up on the religion, don't. What I intend to say with their phrase is that you have to take action. So anyway, there are 24 hours in a day. There's a time to eat, there's a time to work, there's a time to play, there's a time for family. We all have to work in this life. And we all have to take care of our obligations. If you don't, you're going to end up homeless, you're going to be living on the streets, you're going to be starving to death, and then you're going to die. You have to take care of your obligations, and you have to take care of those that are responsible, that you are responsible for. Their subsistence, their livelihood depends on you. There's 24 hours in a day, and so you need to plan your time to manage that wisely so that you can take care of all the aspects in your life that need you to manage them. Sleep an appropriate amount of time. You can't spend all your time partying. You can't spend all your time working. These things are not a healthy balance. You have to find a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this. And I used to struggle with this in a lot of different ways, in a million different ways. Some of my hobbies, I would love to do them all day, and people on the spectrum and not on the spectrum love to play, video games all day. But you can't do that. And me personally, I'm a workaholic, so I like to work. I would work all the time if I could, but I can't do that. We need that balance. So you have to plan your life, figure out, answer the questions: who are you? What do you want? What is your focus in life? Do you want to be happy? Well, then define what that means for you. What is happiness for you? And everybody can say money. Money helps us live a more comfortable lifestyle. Money helps you take bigger and better vacations, sure. But picture this: if you've got all the money in the world and you just go out partying all the time, on vacation all the time, you've got no goals, no responsibilities, no measure of happiness other than partying and spending your money. Is that real happiness? There might be one in a million that can actually back that up and say, yes, that's pretty awesome lifestyle. But for the most of us, out here in the daily grind, we have to work, we have to sleep, and we want our significant others in our lives, our wives, our husbands, and our kids. And I think, in my experience, that what I've found to be the most rewarding, and saying that comes with its challenges, is having a family. And I love my kids. I love my big family. I love my wife, and we just have the greatest time together. We all go out to the beach all the time. We go camping on the beach, and I mean, that's what defines me, is my family. And back when I didn't have a family, I was lost. I didn't know what defined me. I didn't have a root of happiness. And so that's what you need to find for yourself. Whether you're single, whether you're looking for a significant other, if you're looking in the bars, trust me, that's the wrong place to look. You're not going to find the good, nice, responsible people that uplift your life and compliment you unless you're willing to be that person yourself. So, if you're a terrible person, don't expect to find the world's greatest, spouse. You have to be that yourself, and that comes in defining what you want in life and what makes you happy. If you think that you're going to get married and live happily ever after, but you think flirting or cheating or anything like that is acceptable, you're dead wrong. Especially when you have kids. Those kids are pure and innocent, sweet, and they look up to you no matter what kind of person you are. And when you do those things, and I'm talking any kind of things that would hurt them in any way, mentally, physically, sexually, anything terrible like that, you failed. You have lost sight of who you are and your true destiny in this life, and you don't have a clear focus on what are the things that are most important to you in this life. And so, to help you do that, write it down, plan it out. I used to take people that I knew face to face and people in history, and I would list out their characteristics, their traits, their attributes, if they had a sense of humor, if they were stern. I used to list those things out and decide for myself. I would pick and choose. I want to be like this guy. I want to be like this guy. Everybody wants to be like Michael Jordan, but how do you get there? How did he get there? Everybody thinks that you're just going to get there magically just by wishing, and that is not it. You have to let go. You have to reach out. You have to put in the work. How do you know what work needs to be done? Well, you have to exercise your brain a little bit. Start writing these things down. Make goals. Push yourself for these goals. If you want to be a great boxer, you have to get up early in the morning. You have to work hard. Like Muhammad Ali said, he would rather hurt more during practice so that he wins the match. Something like that. I don't know. You can tell me. But plan your day. Plan your time. Paint the canvas that you want. Take out 2, 3, 5 minutes of your life every morning and just sit down and think, what do I want this day to be? What makes me me? What makes me happy, and how can I pursue that happiness? What do I need to do to get there? So figure all those things out. Write them down if you have to, and then you have to plan the attack. How am I going to get there? And like I just said, you have to figure out the work that you have to do. Like sailing a sailboat, you have to figure out where that sailboat is going to go, how you need to navigate, watch out for the storms, watch out for the wind, and navigate your boat properly so that you can get there. You have to have a plan of attack so that you're not stressing about the future. You do have to plan for it, but not stress about it. There's a difference there. Reach out for life. Reach out for what is new. Reach out for what is going to push you and motivate you. Find new hobbies. Find new things to explore in life. Life is so fleeting and so beautiful. Try that new piece of fruit or that new restaurant. Ask that girl out on a date. Go out and be the person you want to be. Take action and go and conquer those dreams that you have. Everybody calls it a bucket list. Why has it got to be a bucket when you're about to kick the bucket and go do these things? Go do these things now. Go learn karate now. Go learn a language now. Go get that new job that you know you can do. Go do it now. Why not? What have you got to lose? So I'm thinking about that movie Jim Carrey, what was it called? Yes Man, where he went to a seminar and he said everything that you face you have to say yes to, and so much what we're talking about, just to say yes to life. Life is all around us. Accept that moment, embrace that moment, enjoy that moment, and feel the wind on your face, feel the water around your body. Reach out to your loved ones and hold them tight. These are the things that you can cherish all your life and that really truly make the soul happy. Life is beautiful, and go out and live it. That's what I hope the most for all of us, is to be happy. And for those facing depression, mental illness, Asperger's, depending on the spectrum of autism, how much you can do for yourself. Even those parents that are dealing with full-blown autistic children, you have to focus on what you want out of life, what truly makes you happy, and focus on that, and don't get focused on the day-to-day grind and the struggle and how difficult it is. You have to find that balance to plan those retreats, those spa days, those things that keep you going so that you can live your life and live it happily. So at the end, I was really excited about this one. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I know I just did a video the other day. I promise I won't do one again, but I had such a great response. Lots of people talking to me about a myriad of things, and so I just felt like I really wanted to get this out. I hope it means something to you. I hope you took notes. I hope you apply it to your life. Life is too short and it's too beautiful to miss. So having said that, Chris from Sweden has become a fan of my beard and wanted to know about some man care products. Man care, my beard has a mind of its own. If I didn't shave, it'd be out to here, and it's wild. But I don't do too much. Yes, it's naturally colored that way. I've got a red beard and this blonde streak there, but that's natural. It just grows out awesome like that. I have no control over it. All I do is brush it, in the morning when I wake up. Otherwise, it's sticking out to here. And I am not endorsing this product, although Old Spice, I'm available. You know what I'm saying? This is a paste for hair, but I use it in my beard to hold my hair straight. I have found that it's not as greasy as a lot of the beard products out there. I'm not a total fan, but it's kind of the best thing I've found so far. So, Chris from Sweden, there you go. That's all you get. Everybody else, I love you. Have a great day. Bye.